day, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the November 2017 Metal Investor Forum. I'm here with Vishal Gupta, who's the CEO of California Gold Mines. It's, I think, the most recent company that I added to HRE coverage. Very interesting. Already got a resource. Vishal's going to give you some idea what's going forward here, but a lot of news flow, a lot of things happening. Like, you're a pretty busy guy right now.
Yes, I am. We've got a very prospective land package in the historic Mother Lode Gold Belt. And out of the 200-kilometer strike of the belt, we have a 4-kilometer strike on our private land. And within that 4 kilometers, we have drilled off 1 kilometer, and we have just generated our first resource estimate of 900,000 ounces that we came out with in November of 2016.
Okay.
This year, we're going to be starting our drill program actually next week. And the hope is by June of 2018, we should have our second resource estimate out on a 2nd kilometer of that Mother Lode Gold Belt on our property.
Okay, so you're obviously hoping for a fairly sizable increase.
We are.
Okay, and so this is private land. This is not. It's not claims. It's real estate, I guess.
Yeah, this is private land. We own 100% of the surface rights, 100% of the mineral rights, and we paid $5.5 million Canadian in 2013 to acquire it outright.
So that gets you, I guess that gets you around a lot of the sort of drill trench stage permitting that can be painful in a lot of parts of the U.S. Like, that's not really an issue for you. Very
true. We don't need any exploration permits to conduct any activities on our property. Of course, when we do get to a stage where we have to contemplate a mining scenario, we have to apply for mining permits.
Okay, and you're, I know people probably hear mining California, oh my God. You and I talked about this extensively. I mean, can you give people like a short version of why you've got a reasonable amount of comfort that you can get permitted in California these days?
Sure. California, actually, the permitting depends quite extensively on which county you are in. We are in Mariposa County, which is the lead agency when it comes to environmental permitting, which means even the state and federal permits have to be issued by the local county office, and which also means that if we have local support in terms of this mine going forward to a production stage, then that local support counts for a lot.
Okay.
In our case, the county itself is an economically depressed county with a population of only about 15,000 people or so. Unemployment rates are through the roof. And so if this mine was to go into production, either we put it into production or somebody else does on our behalf, this would be the single largest employment provider for the entire county. And that's an economic and employment benefit that the county cannot ignore.
Okay, and your sense, just dealing with the locals, you're getting a lot of like suppliers and stuff that really want to come on board.
Absolutely. I quite routinely keep communications open with the district supervisors of the county and the planning commissioners, and I can assure you that we've got a lot of support from the local community. These are all elected officials, and the local populace wants this mine to go forward because of the job creation.
And in terms of the next, let's just say 3 to 6 months, I'm just pulling a number out of the air. Give us a sense of it sounds like you're going to have a lot of news flow during that period. There'll be lots of stuff coming. I mean, what sort of things can investors expect to see during that period?
We have just completed a property-wide, this is a roughly 14 square kilometer land package that we have. We have just conducted a property-wide soil sampling survey. We've got the results back. We're in the process of interpretation of those results. We should be putting out a press release towards the end of November, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, once the interpretation is complete. We have also conducted an airborne magnetic survey on the property. We have just completed that interpretation. We're in the process of conducting an IP survey on the property as well, a 3D IP survey, followed by a VLF survey on the property as well.
And now, that's in the area we're going to be drilling, or that's some of the other areas as well?
That's some of the other areas as well.
Okay, so that's for some of this is to set up things after what you're about to start drilling.
That's right.
Okay.
And so we should be coming out with results on the geophysics side, on the airborne magnetics, on the IP, on the VLF. We should be coming out with those results all together towards the end of November, early December.
Okay.
We are looking to start our drill program in middle of November, which is next week.
Right.
Once we start the drill program, we will have results every 3 to 4 weeks. We'll have a set of assays that will be coming out as well. The expectation is that the drilling will it's about 40,000 feet of drilling.
Right.
The drilling will be completed by the end of March.
Okay.
And the resource estimate for this new zone that we're drilling should be out by June.
Okay. And one last point I want to touch on. I mean, one thing I found very interesting about California Gold was, for a company that's sort of this far along, where you've already got a almost 1 million ounce resource, you've got several areas where you're going to be trying to enlarge that. You've got an impressively tight share structure and small float. I mean, can you give people like a short version, a little bit of background on why your share structure looks the way it does?
Well, when I joined the company in 2013, most of the principal shareholders were already in place. The board owns about 65% of the stock, and our friends and family, in addition to that, in close hands, about 8 or 9 high net worth families own about 85% of the company. And it's been grand for the last 4 years because there hasn't been any public capital available for exploration companies. And so collectively, these 8 or 9 families have funded our exploration activities to the tune of $17.5 million that we have raised through these families. And so that's been...
And not cheaply, I might add. That's one of the things that I found interesting when I did the due diligence before I wrote up the company the first time is I think that 70 or 80% their average holding cost is not low.
No, the average holding cost, the cost base of the major shareholders is north of 70 cents. The company, the stock price today is at 50 cents.
Right.
We're also in the middle of doing a financing at 40 cents right now. So it's very cheap, financing that we're doing right now. And the whole point of it is to actually open this privately held company to the general public. Okay. And so we're enticing the general public with some cheap, financing that we're doing right now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great story. I mean, it looks like something that can get a lot bigger. Very good structure, very good leverage to both gold prices and, of course, increases in resources. California Gold Mines, CGM on the venture. I strongly suggest you take a look at it. Thanks for your time today, Vishal.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Okay.